Okay, well what I'm going to try and show you here is the lot size calculator and how it works and why the lower the account size the problem occurs with the percentages. So let's just have a look up here. This is on the euro. This I'll show you. I just did a calculation here on the US, the US dollar, but it's an Aussie dollar account. So the tick value, current tick value on the Aussie dollar, sorry, on the euro dollar using an Aussie dollar account is 1.402, etc. Now, assuming we have an account balance of $10,000, we set our trade risk up at 4%. That means we're risking $383 per trade. I've just picked the standard sample now of our Hertz range, which is the hedging zone, of 860 pips. Using 40% gives us a take profit range of 2150 and a stop loss range of 1290. Then internally we've got some calculations here that talks about the TP multiplier and the stop loss multiplier. These come into the calculations further down. So what I want you to look at now is here where we have P lots. Now P lots has got to be in multiples of, well, they've got to be even numbers. The reason for that is that because we have P1 and P2, we're going to divide it in half. So we need an even number there. So that's always got to be in an even number. And then from down here, this section of the calculation, that actually works out what H1, H2, H3, and H4 need to be in order to come up with the calculations and the way the EA works. So then what happens is, if we add up this risks by lots, that 1.08 is the sum of these numbers here. So if you add all them up, you get 1.08 lots. So that's how many total lots there are. And because we're running across the hedge zone, we know what our maximum exposure is going to be. So we know we've got 1.08 lots, and we know our total risk there is going to be $1,302 based on this formula here. You can go through that later if you need, but that's not really what I'm trying to show you. So on this particular example, our actual risk is 13%, because that's the actual risk dollar value divided by the account balance value, which is $10,000. Okay, so if you can see that, what I've then done is I've just taken this formula here and I've put it over here, and I've started here at 0.02 lots, which is the minimum lot size we can have on a $10,000 account. So if we have a 0.02 lots, as we then have this combination, which means on that lot size we're risking 1.21%. The very next lot size up is 0.4. There's nothing in between. It has to jump from 0.2 to 0.4 to 0.6 to 0.8. It can only ever go up in 0.2 lots. The net result of that is that the actual risk percentage down here is not very even. So if you select 4% risk, we can't go to this lot size because that pushes us over the edge. So we've got to step back one. And so in this case, we would go in at 3.86%. So even though you've dialed up 4% risk as your selection, the best you're going to achieve on this account size is 3.86. So that's why we get big jumps in the lot sizing and the risk. And sometimes if your account size is too small, that won't work at all. But just to show you the difference in an account size, if we take that to $100,000 instead of $10,000, then this risk is obviously quite small. But if we then scroll across, and I'm not sure I can get across far enough. Oh, here we go. So then at this end of the world, you can see if you want 4%, 4% here means a 0.62 lot size. We have to come back one. So in this particular instance, we would select 0.6 lots, which gives us 3.93%. So you can see that the step change here is a lot finer because of the fact that we're using a bigger equity. I hope that makes sense. I'll send you the spreadsheet. Well, it's attached to this email. Have a play with it, see if that makes any sense, and we can talk about it tomorrow. But what I'm trying to say is that the lot sizes are not dependent on margin. It's just dependent on the lot size that's selected, and as a result of that, it's going to be related to the hedge zone. So if that hedge zone goes down to, say, 200, then that makes all these numbers change, obviously. So have a play with it, see what you come up with, and good luck.